On the show today, on the rights to Ricky Sanchez today, the Sixers lose to the backup Pistons and are basically done from the cup, unfortunately. Joel Embiid still out, Dominick Barlow back. The Sixers take Mike's advice and send Jaron McCain to the G League. And Daryl Morey's doing some weird online chess contest. I think it's online. We'll explore later. Doing anything but GM in the basketball team. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS and brought to you by MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP at mortgagecs.com/Ricky. LL Pavorsky Jewelers, where Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners go and get engaged. And Surfside, iced tea and vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Ricky. Fly the Process, New Orleans, February 20th to 23rd. Fans of Philly takes us. If you've never been on a Fans of Philly trip, it is awesome in that you don't have to worry about anything. We have a great hotel right near the arena. And right close to Bourbon Street. We have, it takes care of your flights, takes care of the tickets, takes care of your t-shirt, the pregame party, which is all inclusive. And we announced them the last time, we're going to do a pod on Sunday morning at Preservation Hall, which is a legendary jazz venue. Joe has gotten emails about how you get into that. We are working on it. We will have that figured out soon because Preservation Hall is not particularly big. But if you want to sign up for the trip, which will be the only way that you can get into it, go to rightsrickysanchez.com/fly. If you need a custom trip, if you're already in New Orleans or if you're flying from somewhere else, send an email to joe@fansofphilly.com. The trips are always great, always have a wonderful time, always a lot of weird memories on these trips, absolutely. So hope to see you there. No weird memories with Surfside, iced tea, and vodka, only great memories. Surfside has been with us for several years since they were just stateside vodka. They are based right here in Philly. I know you see their commercials and their billboards everywhere. You see them in every stadium across the fucking country. Surfside is Philly. That's why it's Surfside Live in South Philly now instead of Xfinity Live. Surfside iced tea and vodka is the best canned cocktail there is because it tastes the best. Not to mention the can has a cool logo, which means it looks cool in your hand, as long as you're 21. But what are you drinking out of that can? You're drinking only 2 grams of sugar. You're drinking 100 calories. There's no bubbles. And it is lightly sweet. Every single one of the varieties. I am iced tea, lemonade and vodka. I like that one a lot. I like the straight up lemonade and vodka. Many people love the raspberry tea and vodka. Many, many people love the peach tea. There's so many different varieties. You can get it wherever you get your canned cocktails. If you can't find it near you, go to drinksurfside.com. You got to be 21. Please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
Larry, sweetie, the man is here. Say the name. I say the name. I say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Forever.
Oh, you're muted, big dog. Good pal. Wow. Still muted. Look at this.
I didn't mute myself. I don't know what happened.
Unbelievable.
I didn't mute myself.
Conspiracy.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I did not mute myself. Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin along with a guy who found out I was muted, who yelled at me for being muted.
No, I thought that was so a supportive muted.
It was very supportive. So before we talk about the Sixers, I have a question for you I thought of yesterday. It is basketball related, so don't worry. We're starting with basketball related. Who do you think is more likely to get an NBA GM job again, Brian Colangelo or Nico Harrison?
Oh, that's interesting. I would probably say Brian.
Really?
I'd probably
Now,
say
is
Bryant.
it because of the time he's been gone? Oh, no, I said more likely at any time. So
Well, I
not
think,
more
like,
likely sooner.
There's some level of like, paid your debt or whatever, that kind
Sure.
of thing. Nico is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
Are you forgetting how embarrassing Brian Colangelo was?
I think time heals all wounds a little bit, doesn't
Okay.
it?
All right. Yeah.
And a little bit like, oh, this guy. I think maybe the things that Brian did are maybe more like so many people are doing that stuff now.
Yes. The burner stuff.
Yeah.
It almost seems normal. I think
It seems a little normal.
I think during one of the pods, I expressed some empathy in that.
Of course.
I understand why you would do it. Like it's a
Always.
human thing that he did. You know?
Always felt that way.
Yeah.
In any Brian story, Jerry was always the villain for me.
Yes.
Let's be clear about it. So
Yes,
Brian, if
for
you want
sure.
to come back, if you want to go be the GM of the Pelicans, go get him, bud.
Yeah.
All you, man. But I do think it's Brian, because I think Nico is a pariah. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
and Brian was a pariah for a while, but I think trading Luka and saying our
can you
championship
imagine
window is now.
hiring the guy that traded Luka?
It was always so dumb. Like, there's some choices that you're just like, that's horrendous logic. It really, like, sometimes, like, that kind of bad logic really drives me crazy in the world when I experience it. And it's kind of nice that this guy who expressed such bad logic and then saddled an entire fan base with the consequences of that logic, at least he pretty quickly got some comeuppance.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's no undoing the trade. Like, if you're a
Yes.
12-year-old Mavs fan,
Well,
and they traded Luka for fucking barely anything, it's just, I would never forgive anybody.
Well, I give credit to the Mavericks fans and my friend Kirk, who is a Mavericks podcaster, who they basically got Nico fired. Yeah. But the problem with it is not problem, but I guess the unfulfilling part is you get Nico fired and you're like, wait a minute, we still don't have Luka? Yeah, like there's no trade backsies now that we fired him. Sure. That is a harmful part. Also, the thing that you mentioned about Brian being GM of potentially of the Pelicans, something I didn't mention in the fly the process thing as we're going to New Orleans, is if you watch those Pelicans games right now, we're going to make a lot of noise in that place. There's not a lot of noise at Pelicans games right now. Potentially, the Ricky could be. We could have our loudest contingent in that I don't think we're going to have many people to be louder than while we're there. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
Willie Green just fired.
Yes. 2 and what are they? 2 and 10, 2 and 11.
Former Sixer.
So Sixers lose to the Pistons. The Sixers were 1.5 point dogs when it went off. The Pistons, as many people mentioned, were minus 4 starters. It is fair to mention the Sixers were also minus Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Kelly Oubre for the second half. Would have been nice to win it. I don't think I wasn't quite as furious as everyone else was. The Pistons have won 9 straight games and have the best record in the Eastern Conference, and we were on the road. There are clearly things to be critical of or whatever, but I didn't find the loss to be, condemning really in any particular way.
No, annoying loss. I mean, and Pistons hit some tough shots in this one.
A couple were unbelievable.
Yeah, Karis LeVert has never missed a shot against us. It was good. It was good to see B-Ball Paul doing his thing, man. He's a good player.
Dude, the Eurostep, the B-Ball Paul Eurostep is, yeah.
He had a great game the game before
28, 13, and 6.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
In a win. I love him. I'm happy for him. I hope he knows. It's an annoying loss because
Shout out Doc Rivers.
It felt like, shout out always. It felt like the sort of the thing that's been happening at the end in the third quarter now happened in the fourth, as you worried about last podcast.
Yeah.
Which is just like the offense just kind of stopped and it just became ISO ball.
Amazing that we won the third quarter and we still lost the game. And I didn't think that was possible.
They should have just ended it right there.
We had a bad second quarter and fourth quarter. Whoa. What if we just had all good quarters? Anyway,
all good quarters is the idea.
Yeah.
I do think it's notable that if the same thing happens every time, then something should be corrected.
10 games, and it's only happened in 8 of the games, so it's not really every time. So anyway, but continue. I'm sorry, I don't want to get bogged down in it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know if that's a Nick Nurse thing. I don't know if that's a Maxey thing, or the players just sort of like lose focus and start scrambling. But it just became everything isolation all the time, and they went from getting pretty good actions, dribble handoffs into corner threes and stuff, to forcing a lot of shots at the rim. They scored 15 points in the fourth. It just wasn't, turning the ball over a little bit. It just wasn't good. And then the defense lacked focus. There was one time in transition where I forget who had a dunk. It might have been Javonte Green. And VJ just kind of stopped running and stopped chasing him. And it was like, that's kind of bad to see. It seemed like everybody just got tired. Maxey got tired. Everybody just got ran out of steam. And AU wrote an article about it this morning.
Yeah,
that I read first thing when I opened my eyes, read AU's article about Maxey.
On the bed or on the toilet?
On the bed.
Okay.
So it's like I'm cuddling with AU a little bit there.
Yep. Subscribe to RiceToRickySanchez.com for free.
And yeah, so it's just they need to get him some help, or they need to arrange some offense to make it easier on him, so he doesn't have to start everything from like a flat-footed place. And last night it felt like that. Well,
I think sometimes, maybe I'm just guessing, he's not playing with a ton of particularly talented offensive players right now. They all have talents. It seems like a lot of times the lineups are sort of incongruous with each other, in that, like, sometimes you don't have enough guys that can shoot. Sometimes you don't have enough guys that can dribble. Everybody can sort of do something, but not everybody does the thing that you want them to be able to do. And I think what happens is, when they are trying to run that offense, somebody fucks something up, and Maxey ends up getting frustrated and sort of says, you know what, we're probably better off if I just try to do this on my own at this point, because we're losing ground. One of those people is Quentin Grimes, not allowed to dribble or pass. He's just allowed to shoot, I think, for the next 5 games or so. So that's why when people start saying, and I understand that the motivation is less real and more just sort of a gut thing. They're like, let's do it without Paul George and Joel Embiid. It's like, well, they are competent offensive players. That is going to make everything a lot easier on Maxey. And he was playing with Drummond and Bona, and I thought Barlow looked great, but like just a bunch of Grimes, all these guys that have like specific, very, very specific and large limitations in their offensive game. I think it makes even running more of an offense hard, because more people have to do things and they're not that good at them. So I think to a certain extent, it's just that they don't have that many good players at this point. That many good players who do what we need them to do, I guess, offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I would like Paul George to be back. Even if Paul George is not the guy he was in the Clippers,
yeah,
I think go be a better passing Robert Covington out there. Like that would be very helpful.
Just shoot every time you have a 3, and play put your hands out on defense.
Yeah,
and be able to dribble.
It looked a little bit. They'll never win a cup game.
No,
the cup is the enemy. They don't count.
Never cared about it anyway.
Never cared about it. Will never will.
No, it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, something didn't feel quite right last night in the game. I thought Justin Edwards played pretty well offensively. He seemed to get in a rhythm, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
But a couple, he seems like the overhelping. He's too far off him. He just goes too far off him. It seems like
bad lately.
Play it.
Such a nothing play.
I'm playing it.
In front of you. No help. Too often just like stands and watches other guys. No help. We may as well try.
Kills me.
No help. Is it gonna work? I don't think it's gonna work. It didn't work.
Kills me. It seems like he's doing it like in a good student way. It doesn't seem like he's freelancing. Like sometimes when like Drummond or Oubre leaves their guys, it feels a little bit like they're freelancing. Whereas Edwards, it seems like I was told to do this and I'm doing it right. And then he's just too far away and he can't get a hand up and stuff. I was a little bummed at the lack of productivity from Watford, who really popped in a game or two. And then he sort of like found himself to be less useful lately. So
yeah, well, we'll get to Watford in a second. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by MortgageCS. Go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP. I'm going to let you in on a secret. They treat Ricky people great. But the secret with MortgageCS is their whole business is based around treating people great. So while I want you to go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky, go there. I want you to tell them that you're a Ricky listener. I want you to know that their whole business, which is what separates them from other mortgage brokers, and is that they are super you oriented, right? They're customer oriented. They're for the individual. They're independent. And if you've worked with a mortgage broker before, you may have noticed your mortgage broker is distracted, or maybe doesn't get back to you all that quick, or maybe sends, short sort of emails that you don't really understand or aren't answering your question. MortgageCS is the complete opposite. Ben and Alec and their entire staff just make sure that you feel it's a real nerve-wracking experience buying a home, bidding on a home, getting a mortgage, all those sorts of things. They just make you feel great about it. Any question you have, they have an answer for you. They're going to make sure that you get the best rate, but not only that, they're going to make sure that you understand why you're making the choices that you are. They're going to help you get the house, right? Like, because they're so good at what they're doing, when you're putting in a bid against 15 other bidders, and that realtor is dealing with MortgageCS and see how buttoned up you are, and makes them feel like the house is going to close, that's going to help you get the house. And refinancing now, right now, it is all about refinances. If you bought your house in the last couple of years, there is a very good chance you can save money and drop your mortgage insurance if you have it, even pay off your home faster, maybe even all three. And you didn't even have to work with MortgageCS in the first place to get your mortgage. So if you bought your house in the last couple of years, your mortgage rate is maybe in the 7s, maybe even the high 6s. I want you to reach out to MortgageCS. They can help you refinance. And do not fall for you may get some mailers. You may see ads on the internet about these super low interest rates on mortgage. They don't tell you about all the fees that are built in. So what ends up happening is, maybe your interest rate looks like it's 5.5, but really what you're paying is 6.75, something like that. Anyway, MortgageCS can help you with it. And now's a great time to try to buy a house, in that many house sellers are motivated to get it done before the holidays. So you might think it's a dead time. It's actually a great time. Go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Schedule a consultation. Call or text their CEO, Ben, at any time, 267-391-7425. MortgageCS, you got to work with MortgageCS. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information. Trendon Watford seems like a guy that when the pace of the game is high, he is really, really good. He's really, really good on the move in a fast break, right? Because he's great leading the break. He's great going to the rim when he has momentum, I think, from the break. It's when the game slows down, he gets a little stuck in that he can't shoot, really. And those post-ups, he has a little bit of old Embiid in him, in that he holds the ball too long on the post-up. And by the time the double gets there, which a lot of times he eventually gets, it's too hard for him to make the pass that he needs to make. So Watford is a really interesting player. He's a really skilled player. It seems like he is going to be a guy that works best when they're going up and down. And I know we had projected him as a starter. I don't think he's a great guy next to Embiid, to be honest with you. So just sort of because he can't shoot. I sort of want anybody. He's an okay rebounder, but if we want rebounding out of that spot, I'd probably rather have Barlow. So he's an interesting player, but he seems to maybe not be great in the half court.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think they also won the third quarter because they were getting up and down. That was definitely what was the change last night.
Sure.
I like Watford post-ups. I think that's I like him being having his vision in the post, and he can punish a mismatch down there. But yeah, the lack of shooting from that power forward position. Barlow hit 2 threes last night, which was nice, but it doesn't look good.
No.
It's not a good looking shot.
It's actually amazing. It looks like it hurts.
It does look like it hurts.
Right? It looks like he's hurting his arm or something. He's bending his arm. It's actually shocking.
Good to see him back though.
Dude, he's fucking awesome.
Mysterious illness. Yeah, fun guy, knows who he is.
Within 10 seconds, he's ripping an offensive board, somehow not getting called for an over the back because his arms are super long and his technique's really good, ripping it away from somebody, made some really nice plays going to the basket. Dude, Dominick Barlow is awesome.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Good player.
That's a big find, Barlow.
Yeah, it's nice when it's so weird when you're like, because he was a pretty big prospect, and then goes to one of the like G League Ignite or Overtime Elite, I forget which one, and you expect that kind of guy to be when you're like big time prospect or whatever. It's like, okay, number one option, but it's weird. I guess it's weird when it's like you have to age into a competent role player.
Yes,
and so he's sort of like has turned a corner a little bit in that respect and knows like who he is, who he isn't. And it's nice. He's using athleticism, using his like, he's pretty smooth as like an athlete's fluid. And he's getting the ball out of his hands quick. And it was a nice game. It's good to see him. Good to see him back. Good to see the laceration end. He finished 29 minutes with a plus 11. By the way, when you look at box scores, are you looking at ESPN?
Oh, are you going to talk about them moving the points to the left?
It's because they moved it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then they've moved it again over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And I just want whoever is deciding this to go take a walk. Like, go for a walk.
Stop changing it so
Stop
much.
changing shit.
Yeah,
This idea, it's a fucking a plague on our society. They're like, everything was fine. And they're like, we're going to make it better. And now the rebounds and the offensive rebounds and the defensive rebounds are like several columns away from each other.
Yes.
It's mind-blowing. The brainworms that is happening on the ESPN box scores. How can this not be figured out? Just do it regular. What's going on?
So it's weird. I always assumed their box scores were just direct imported from like one of those companies. I don't know if it's Stats Inc. or one of those companies. I didn't think they were constructing them themselves. And I will even, this is my sort of, nature. I'll take you to the Wemby thing. Or not the Wemby thing, the Luka thing. Where when they traded Luka, my first instinct was, okay, like maybe you had a reason to do it. So when I saw they moved the points and everybody was crying about the moving the points, I thought to myself, well, points being all the way on the left kind of makes a little bit of sense. Maybe it's different. Maybe I'll get used to it. But separating the offensive rebounds from the rebounds doesn't make any sense at all. No. They should be right next to each other. And changing it more than once.
Yeah.
Just
they have the yips.
Yeah.
The ESPN box score people have the yips.
Yep. It's sort of like the box score version of the scene in Swingers where he calls the girl and he keeps leaving the messages.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Unbelievable. Yeah. You do have a somewhat of a reflexive, like,
yes,
everybody thinks this one thing, but it's actually maybe is smart on one hand.
Yes.
But sometimes people just do dumb shit.
Yes.
Sometimes people make really dumb mistakes, and it's a whole big company about it.
Yep.
Trading Luka and the ESPN box score people. If I'm gonna chant "Fire Nico" to whatever the name of the ESPN box score guy is. We should say that VJ Edgecombe had a nice game.
Yes, he did. Hit some threes.
Looked
when
comfortable.
He misses them, he sure misses them. I can say that. It's like he's looking at a different basket when he misses them. But
he's bouncing into them. It was good to see him get a nice little dunk in transition. Like I'm like super not concerned about him in any way.
No. He have 18 points or something last night.
Yeah.
Lets the game come to him. And he keeps one of these times that he tries to obliterate someone on a dunk, it's gonna work.
Yeah, I like that he's trying.
Yes,
there's the one last night was like, you're maybe not the right time, but he believes in himself, so I kind of like seeing that.
Yeah. I think he will get one of them. You could tell he really wants it to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. Can we talk about Grimes?
Sure.
I keep thinking when I get frustrated with the turnovers. Like, because I think he's averaging almost 4 turnovers a game, which is pretty.
He only had two last night.
It
always feels like more.
Seems like more because there's a bunch that he has 2 kinds of turnover.
Mm-hmm.
One is the, I'm on the wing, I'm passing it to you at the top of the key, and I'm doing so in a sort of a unnecessarily lackadaisical way, and it gets picked off, and it's a pick 6.
Yeah, leading the team in turnovers, averaging 3.2.
There you go.
That's too many.
Way too many. You should be averaging 9 assists a game or 7 assists a game if you have 3 turnovers, right? Yeah. So there's that turnover. Then there's the dribbling past the 3-point line and I'm going real fast. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he throws it out or he kicks it off of somebody. is this him? And we have to put him in a Danny Green role where he's really only allowed to shoot the ball, move the ball, and play defense. Now they need him to do more, I guess, right now. Mm-hmm. But is the optimal role for him? Because I know we wanted some secondary ball handler stuff, all that kind of stuff. Maybe he just isn't good at that when he's not running around, scoring points on a shitty team. And maybe he really has to be put into that role where, hey, we really don't want you putting on the ball on the floor if you don't have to. He's a good defender, and he gets the threes up quick. He's a good three-point shooter. He's strong. I like all of those things. Yeah. But he just seems to have no really sort of awareness when he's dribbling the ball and he's passing the ball. It's pretty tough to watch, and it makes me frustrated watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's made good plays off the dribble, passing, moving on off the bounce. Like, he just has to clean up some of that, and there's just times when he's trying to dribble through traffic. If you can at least sort of clean that up and get him off of those, then he can attack a closeout. He can swing the ball. He can drive and kick, those kinds of things. But it's when he's trying to do so much or speed himself up too much. 3.2 turnovers is a lot for this kind of guy. I don't think he's Danny Green because he's way more, at least the veteran version of Danny Green that we had. I think Grimes he's much faster. He's much better ball handler. Has much more shake to his game.
Oh, but prime Danny Green,
right? Yeah. But you got to find a way to clean that up, and I don't know how the coaching staff. Do they want to empower him so that there's, you can hit the highs, or do you want to restrict him and make him feel like, oh, then he has to start policing himself out there? I don't know what a guy like that. How do you coach a guy like that to just make fewer mistakes like that? I don't know.
Yeah. Anybody else worth talking about? Drummond was Drummond. Bona was Bona.
Drummond hit 2 corner threes, both good looking shots.
I'm proclaiming they're okay for him to take. I am flat out saying it. Take them.
I think situationally, yes.
No.
You think at any point?
Any point. I'm being honest when I say this, and I know this will be shoved in my face. I don't care if it's the last minute of the game. He doesn't think twice about it. He clearly is incredibly confident. They look pretty when they go in. They don't look ugly. He's hitting. Well, he's not. It's not like it doesn't look like an accident. It looks like he knows how to do it. We are at this point. We are at an extreme deficiency of players who can shoot corner threes. He can do it. Shoot all you want out there, buddy, until they guard you. They're gonna start guarding him out there.
That'd be nice. I don't think they will, but that's nice. Onyeka Okongwu hit 8 threes the other night.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So it's a time for the bigs are shooting. I would say part of having Andre Drummond out there is that he is a load on the offensive glass. And if he is always standing in the corner, then he's not going to get those offensive rebounds?
I didn't say always.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's got to be a little bit more late clock for me for him to take those threes. I'm not taking those I don't want Andre Drummond pull up threes in transition, let's say.
Oh no, well that's fair. Yes.
Let's not get over our skis a little bit here.
No, I just want the Ben Simmons threes that we never got. Okay. I just you're out there, you're open, he's good at it. It is irrefutable that he's good at it.
He has been good at it. Let's not assume that he's always going to be good at it.
I think the coach is telling him to take him.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm with it. I am with the Andre Drummond threes.
Okay, there you go.
I'm with it. Yeah.
There you go.
Anything else on that? Oh, also, I love Isaiah Stewart. I love him. I wish he was on the Sixers. I love Isaiah Stewart.
Playing good ball.
Yeah.
He's a beast in there. And he's got nicer touch than you would think from a guy like that.
Yeah. And always trying to get in a fight with somebody. Just 100% of the time. So Joel Embiid, it is not the surgery knee. It is the non-surgery knee with soreness. They had doctors looked at it, no structural damage. He was day to day. The next game is on Monday. I'm having a war within myself, Mike, in that I knew that this was going to happen at some point. If you only play, it's sort of like if you say a team's going to win, your favorite team's going to win a 7-game series in 7 games, you got to lose 3 games to win in 7 games, right? So for Joel Embiid to only play 45 games, he's got to miss some games due to injury. There's not that many back-to-backs. So this had to happen. That said, I had started, unfortunately, to let myself go a little bit when he wasn't showing up on injury reports and there wasn't anything new and he wasn't missing games that they didn't plan to. So I can't tell whether I'm being more worried than I should so I don't know. I'm just sort of bummed.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
This is just sort of what the rest of.
When do I worry? Wednesday? If he doesn't play by Wednesday, there's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I mean, I think what is worry? I'm at a constant state of worry, so I think that is reasonable.
Concern that maybe this has gone off track, I guess. Because what I would love is him to play Monday, Thursday. He's not going to play Monday, Wednesday.
I think if he doesn't play, he's not going to play Monday, Wednesday.
Well, no, my guess would be if he's going to play 2 games, if he could play Monday, then I think they would give him till Thursday. Sure. I think he would play Monday and Thursday. I think that would be optimal for him. You know?
I think if he doesn't play Monday, then it's right to be like, okay, this is like we're in it again. We're back in this thing.
We're in the shit.
But it's not unexpected, and this is why the season is ultimately like kind of gravy. I know it feels like they were winning, and it's nice. They're 7-5 through 12 games, but you got some young guys that you're excited about. You got some guys in their prime they're excited about, and then you have the 2 older guys that you go like, well, if it aligns, then maybe that's interesting. But theoretically, this team should make the playoffs regardless of that.
Yeah, I think so. I think they have going into the game, they had the 10th best point differential in the NBA. I would have taken that. But yeah, I need to get back to the place where I'm not expecting anything of Joel, so everything is gravy. Yeah. And that's where I need to keep getting back to. Yeah. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by LL Pavorsky Jewelers. Everything with LL is gravy. Kidding me? Buy an engagement ring from LL? First of all, you're going to get a beautiful engagement ring. That is such an important moment for you, for the person you propose to. She's been thinking about the engagement ring. The engagement ring from LL is going to be beautiful. That's the first thing. The second thing is every worry you have about buying an engagement ring, from the stress of making the decision to the cost, all of those things, LL is going to make you feel real comfortable. He's like, it's almost like he's a therapist and you're laying on the couch telling him what you need and he's leading you to the right decision.
That's right.
And what happens in therapy? It's a one-on-one situation, right? Unless it's couples therapy or something, but it's one-on-one situation. And that's the way LL wants it when selling you an engagement ring. He doesn't want some busy store, like other jewelers, stressed out. They're trying to get the sale so you don't walk out the door. No, everything's by appointment. So it's just you and him. Almost 500 Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners have purchased engagement rings from LL. And then once you've purchased an engagement ring from LL, you got a jeweler. So maybe it's anniversary time. Maybe it's Valentine's Day. Maybe you fucked up, whatever. You got a jeweler to go to. You got a guy. LL's the only guy I mentioned. It's got to happen by appointment. Now that can be online. Doesn't have to be in a store that he's been there for over 30 years, which is beautiful. Great experience. I recommend meeting Lee in person. Looks great right now. But you can do it online too. Make an appointment. Send him an email, lee@llpavorsky.com. You can call him, 215-627-2252. You can tweet him at LL Pavorsky. He is a supporter of our charitable efforts, Mama T's Community Fridge and Providence Animal Center. LL Pavorsky Jewelers.
A therapist for your finger.
Perfect. And as you suggested on the last pod, did you just think of this? Or was it a little birdie told you? Jared McCain to the G League?
Thought of it.
Okay. They sent him to the G League. He's going to play. We're recording this Saturday morning. He's going to play again today. He played Thursday night. I did watch that game. Did you watch it?
Just the highlights.
Okay. So he played 20 minutes, all in the first half. So if you just look at the box score, you're like 20 minutes. The fact that it was all in the first half is notable because they let him get 2 really long runs in, one in the first quarter, one in the second quarter.
Smart.
Another notable thing from watching it is that he changed his brace. So he went from a full big bulky brace to this like sort of sleeve.
Yeah. Sixers Adam getting all the answers from that.
Oh, did he? Mm-hmm. I didn't see. So it's clear. It's like the big bulky brace was black. This one's like sort of like a white sleeve. This was my thought from watching it. is like he didn't look like he wasn't dominating or anything. He had 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He was 0 for 4 from 3. I'm not worried about him shooting. He'll be able to shoot. He just looked like himself physically. He was running around and dribbling. He was like the lead ball handler most of the time. He had a couple of nice passes. He broke a couple of guys down off the dribble. He was like, it was just nice to see him in control, moving the way that he normally moves, this is why him going down there was there's no pressure down there, right? Like he can just go play basketball. And I think toward the end of his second run, I think 2 of those threes were toward the end of the second run where he knew he wasn't going to play in the second half. So he was just jacking them up there. It just looked normal. It looked like Jared McCain again. So the worry that I had, I know he can shoot. The worry that I had, any worry I had about him physically was pretty much gone watching him in the G League highlights. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the G League should be for. I love minor league baseball. And when you have a rehab assignment, when you're coming up just to get like some reps in there to play game speed, like that is good. That is a good system. And I think the NBA should use it more often. And I'm glad that they did it with Jared McCain. This is a perfect example of what it can be used for. Hey, this guy's doesn't have his legs under him. He's wearing this new brace he's not comfortable with. Let's see if we can get him some reps in Delaware. Like that just makes total sense. I'm glad that the organization did that. And that Jared is open to it and doesn't see it as like some sort of demotion or insult or anything. With McCain, he's so not physically imposing. He's not crazy fast.
Yeah.
He's not, obviously size he's always going to be, even as a point guard, relatively small. He's got to be able to get by people. And he does that with like shiftiness and change of direction and like hesitations and stuff, and using his body to get him stuff. And so he was, and like constant movement, obviously, like off ball, which is like the special stuff that people were excited about. He wasn't doing that in those couple games, and it was good to see him like sort of do that in the G League. The issue is like, is he just not fast enough with the brace as he's
sure
to like do NBA stuff?
Yep.
Because he's already like at a disadvantage in a couple ways. I trust him to get there. He's working his way back, not just from injury, but also from just like rust. He hasn't played in a year. So it was good to see him like hit some shots, get used to it. He'll play again, I think today, right?
Yep, today.
And that'll be good. They're gonna need him. Maxey's gonna need him. Like
yes, they need his ball handling, they need his passing, they need his shooting, they need everything.
Off ball movement. I think off ball movement, like especially at ends of games, he's not gonna like slot in right away, but good things happen on the floor when you have a guy like that who is like smartly cutting. Even if he doesn't finish the play, that opens up a lot, and they need that.
And we should mention Kelly Oubre. I haven't seen an update this morning. Kelly Oubre left the game at the end of the first half with a knee hyperextension. He went up, hit the ground. You could see him sort of grab his knee as he got up. I don't think he went right off the floor, but he didn't come out for the second half. It was a pretty cool lineup for the second half, by the way. It was Maxey, Edgecombe, Grimes, Barlow, and Drummond. Which it's aside from Drummond, that's a lineup that can move a little bit. Yeah. So we hope that Oubre's back and it is not anything lengthy. I haven't seen any update this morning on that though. Now here is the big news, Mike. I'm gonna read you the big news. The first, and this per chess.com. The first ever Super PogChamps is here.
Uh-oh.
Previous PogChamps competitors are back to face off against challengers deemed too good to compete before. Only one player will be crowned the Super Pog Champion. Super PogChamps will feature a fundraiser for Lide Haiti, L-I-D-E Haiti. I don't know if it's Lide or L-I-D-E Haiti, during the event. Some of the people, and you might say, Spike, why are you even mentioning this? Well, some of the people that are in the Super Pog Championship: Linda Diaz, Spargo, Voyboy, Sonic Fox, Will Benson, Sardoche, Virtual, Andrea Botez, you're like, why do I care about any of this?
Masioka from Heroes is an actor.
Oh,
on the
really?
show Heroes, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. And of course, Daryl Morey
Okay.
is one of the players in the Super PogChamps.
He's got a lot of interests.
He's just with all the time he is spending being good at chess and table tennis.
Yeah.
Does he have enough time to be good at being president of basketball operations for the Sixers? Who has this many hobbies?
A lot of hobbies.
It is so many hobbies. You know he's got another one, right? I mean, I'm sure I wonder if he's still doing his NFT thing. You know, he's fighting for free speech out there. It's a hobby. Chess, table tennis.
Fighting for free speech.
Well, you know, he likes free speech, whatever. And the picture of him there. I'm sorry, Daryl. That looks like touched up.
A little touched up.
You look like a little superhero, Daryl, in there. You look more haggard than you do in real life. Okay, so there it is. If you're watching, there's the Super PogChamps player lineup. And there's Morey. I'm not saying that's not Morey. That's Daryl. But, when has he looked that? When has the hair looked that?
A little bit of a gloss. Happened
come
there.
on. Hair hasn't looked that well
Some
put
work
together.
has been done.
Yes.
No, Daryl's got hobbies. Maybe that makes him a more balanced GM. Maybe it makes him, if he's not. Some GMs are just like not doing anything else, and so they just need to make a change and fuck up something out of boredom or something.
Win championships.
Yeah. So little championships.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
So how would you, if you were to, they do the DraftKings odds on the Super PogChamps, what are Daryl's, the chances of him
I don't know.
being the Super PogChamp?
I'm sure he's good. Of course he's good.
But is he good compared to these other Super Pog competitors?
I bet he puts up a respectable showing. Maybe gets to the Final Four and loses.
Okay. CJ, any thoughts?
He wouldn't do this if he wasn't really good, I think. CJ's muted.
CJ's
wow.
muted. Everybody's muted.
Weird.
Yeah.
Voy Boy, season 1 PogChamps champion, of course, as we all remember.
Yeah.
So Daryl has some serious competition. This is the best of the influencer chess community. Okay. And that's why Daryl's here. Daryl's had a relationship with chess.com for a bit. He has a computer version of Daryl that you can play on the chess.com app, if you guys remember.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So.
Also, Daryl has a fucking musical.
He does.
This is too many interests. That's all my opinion. Too many interests.
A few years ago, Daryl posted, it must have been on Instagram, I think, of him in Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
And I responded to the Instagram message saying something like scouting Jabari Walker. And he obviously didn't acknowledge that or whatever. But then they later got Jabari Walker years later because Jabari played college basketball at Colorado. And I need him to be doing some of that. Go around, give me some second round picks, Daryl.
Maybe
I need some of those guys.
Is a good basketball player. Wait, are they playing Pogs or are they playing chess?
Chess. PogChamps started because it's an emote on Twitch that was the origin of PogChamps was them playing Pogs.
Okay.
But now it's just a meme in the Twitch community that when something crazy or epic happens, you drop that PogChamps emote. And it's evolved into a bigger thing.
Do you think Daryl should have enough time to know what that means?
I don't think so.
I
don't want to have enough time to know what that means.
I think they probably reached out to Daryl and were like, "Hey, do you want to play in this chess tournament?" And he said yes, and then that's all.
Oh, I think he's more involved than anything.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And you should have seen how good he is at table tennis. There's no way you get that good without playing too much.
I love the hobby.
The rights to Ricky Sanchez. Just kidding, Daryl. Yeah, but there's a little truth when you're kidding all the time. It's pick one of them. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And DraftKings Sportsbook is all over the Emirates NBA Cup. Unfortunately for us, the NBA Cup is no longer a real possibility for the Philadelphia 76ers.
It's a cup vacation.
Yeah. So the odds now, Cup winner, the Thunder, the favorite, at plus 180. The Sixers are plus 50,000 to win the cup. So, and to win their group, the Sixers have to be the longest shot in their group, I would imagine. Oh, they can't even win their group. So how could they even win the cup? Did the other teams have to die?
They're not going to win the cup. Do not bet for the Sixers to win the cup.
The Magic are +1 because the Magic are 2-0 in Group B play, and the Pistons are 2-0 as well. So the Magic are +120 to win the cup or the group, and the Pistons are +135 to win the group. Yeah, so don't bet the Sixers to win because you can't even bet them to win the group. And the Eagles, by the way, you can bet, of course, NBA Cup. Now that you don't have to worry about the Sixers, you could just have some fun betting the NBA Cup with DraftKings. Eagles are 2.5-point favorites at home Sunday night against the Lions. Mike, your thoughts?
It feels like a loss. It feels like you've been getting away with it, and now here's like a punch in the mouth loss.
Okay.
But I still feel relatively good about the Eagles. The defense looks better. They won the Super Bowl last year by a lot.
Oh, right. I forgot you're in that zone. Yeah.
I think it's a lot of confusing decisions on offense, always. Doesn't make it a lot harder than they have to make it, but I'm liking how the defense looks, and I do think ultimately they will win at least a round in the playoffs.
The Chiefs were this has to catch up with them at some point team last year. Won, I think, 10 one-score games. That didn't catch up with them until the Super Bowl. So if it doesn't catch up with us till the Super Bowl, I'll be fine with that.
The Eagles were that the year before when I was more confident in a loss than anything else in human history. I don't feel as negative about the team as I did then.
This game
that ended up being one of the worst teams in sports history. The way that Eagles season ended.
Yes.
Those last 6 to 8 weeks or something.
Yeah.
I'm not there, but
this game does have a little potential. You remember that it was the Niners game that year where they got their fucking asses handed to them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen, but this game does have that. It is out there that this game could be that game.
Sure. But before this, the few weeks before this, Jalen was throwing the ball, slanging that thing.
Yep.
So I'm hoping it's a good game, but it could be 35-10 or something, and that would be rough.
You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. If you're a new customer, use code RTRS. That is code RTRS for rights to Ricky Sanchez. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Gotta be 21. See show notes for details. This email comes from Taylor, writes to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. Hey, Spike, Mike, and CJ. I think, and thank you. We're getting our email volume is high right now. I thank you if you send in an email. We're not going to get to all of them, but thank you. I think the PG extended ramp-up time is for a pretty obvious reason. Daryl is pushing his debut as close to the December 15th date as possible when a lot of contracts signed over the summer become tradable. This minimizes the amount of time complications can arrive from PG's injury history, but threads the needle of having some games where he looks good enough to entice a team to trade for him. A side note on his trade value, we absolutely cannot use McCain to get off his contract. Bill Simmons suggested this on his pod. It was laughably bad. A second trade note I'd love your guys' opinion on. Should Daryl try to get a first for Grimes at the deadline? A first. Let's forget that second thing. They're not getting a first for Grimes at the deadline. I think the PG December 15th thing is not an impossible thing. They said they're working on his strengthening and his quad, and it seems like he's close. He's been practicing forever. I don't think let's keep it close to December 15th is an insane proposition.
No, it's an interesting thought. I just don't think that the interesting thought is can we make him look good for a little bit before he gets hurt again? I don't think that there's that much strategy in it, I would say. It's probably Daryl just leaving it to Paul and the medical staff of when he looks good, when he feels good and he's ready to go, they'll play him, and then they'll institute a return to play type of strategy. But I don't think that this season anyone is acquiring Paul George if he looks good for 2 weeks. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think it's once there's 1 year left on the contract, then you can try something, but I don't think that that's really in the cards for anybody. I definitely
you
don't
trade-
think that Jared McCain should be used as a Paul George sweetener.
Would you, I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning this publicly, not Daryl, Mike O'Connor. Mike O'Connor was like, would you trade Paul George and Jared McCain for Lauri Markkanen?
I thought about that one.
Yeah.
That is interesting because Lowry is good and youngish, or in his prime at least. Maxey aligned.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Markkanen's got to be 28 by now, right?
Yeah, 27, 28.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
28.
I probably wouldn't. Because I think they probably would also ask for picks in that. And does Lauri Markkanen make this team, if you lose Paul George and McCain, does Markkanen make this team a championship contender?
No.
Maxey, Edgecombe, Markkanen, Embiid in part-time?
I think the question is, do you have a core without Embiid? To me, that's the bigger question on this, is like, are you comfortable in the core of Maxey, Edgecombe, Markkanen as like your core of a championship team? Because the Embiid thing, any team with Embiid is a championship challenger. So I would say yes. I think yes. If Embiid is there, then yes, for sure. I think the bigger question is, how do you feel about that without Embiid? And I don't know. Could be worse. I don't want to trade McCain, is where I just keep coming back to.
I see the logic in it. I think Markkanen is really good. He's a hell of a shooter. He's turned himself into a pretty complete basketball player. And it would fit in nicely with Joel and also without Joel in a Maxey Edgecombe world. I also see a world where Paul George could be just better than Markkanen the rest of the year. You know, Markkanen hasn't played. Paul George was better than Markkanen as of 2 years ago. Not last year, but the year before. His Clippers. Yeah. So I don't think it's a crazy thing to think. He's certainly older, but he's probably a better defender still. And Markkanen hasn't played meaningful basketball in a very long time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's been stuck on a bad Jazz team for a while. I think he's good. I'm not saying that to dismiss him, but yeah, it's an interesting thought, and I think that Utah would probably want to trade Markkanen for if they're acquiring the contract that is Paul George, because that's the only reason that they would acquire him. I think they would need more picks for that, and I think if they're going to trade Markkanen, they'd probably trade it for expirings.
This came from Josh, writes to rickysanchez@gmail.com. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. My friend Jay is obsessed with you. He only calls you Levin, though. I thought I'd mention that.
Jay.
Say hi to Jay.
My brother.
Look at him in the eyes.
Jay.
There you are. So my friends and I were having this debate in our group chat about the Joel extension. My friend Alex and I think it was the worst move ever, and Morey fucked that up. But my friend Jay thinks it had to be done. He keeps talking about the timeline and pushing this narrative. I hate when people use the word narrative. Stop saying narrative. You're using it wrong. And pushing this narrative that the only way that PG was going to sign is that if more, like, imagine saying that and just not using narrative. It means the same exact thing. All right. And pushing this narrative that the only way PG was going to sign was if Morey extended Joel and it had to be done. He keeps saying he will die with the ship and the Joel experience, that this is our destiny, whatever happens, happens. Now he's saying that Joel's nickname should be changed to the timeline instead of the process, and we should say trust the timeline. He won't shut up about it, and I think it's the funniest thing in the world. He might have a point, he doesn't, and we can't give it to him. The only thing we can agree on is a great Ricky bit. We would like your do you agree with the Joel extension? And how do you feel about trust the timeline? So here's the thing. Your friend Alex is right about the Joel extension in that they needed...
Jay is right about the Joel extension.
Oh, right. Jay is right. Yes.
Don't fucking slander my boy Jay.
I'm sorry. No, my friend Jay thinks that, Jay is right. So...
Jay is right in that Paul George only signs here if Joel gets extended.
Yes, because they need Joel to recruit Paul George.
That's right. Now the question is, should they have wanted Paul George to sign here?
That's the bigger question.
Do you want Joel and Paul George for many years? Daryl pushed all of his chips into that,
yes.
And last year it failed spectacularly.
Yes.
odds are it's going to fail spectacularly, but there was certainly some logic in doing it last year. He took a risk, and health-wise, it didn't work out. So you can't get, when we were all excited about Paul George coming here and deciding to come here, you don't get that unless you had also given Joel that extension.
Yes. So I think here is the question, that it's the bigger question. And so, okay, so let's take the other path. Let's say you don't want Paul George, which is, at this point, looking back on it, might I remind you, almost everybody was fucking thrilled.
Absolutely.
All us included.
Yeah.
All that said, even if you're going to say, I don't care, benefit of hindsight, I didn't want Paul George. Then you had to move on from Embiid at that time, because you don't really have any other options to build around him, and he has this contract and you're not giving him the extension. Yeah. So, okay. So you might say that's fine. That's okay. But also you would be doing that after the injury, when he probably doesn't have a lot of trade value, right? Because that is the summer of the Olympics. Yeah. I mean, it just is. So
yeah, you would have had to make that decision after that Knicks series.
Yes.
And decided Joel is, they had a shot. Joel still scored 50 in that series.
Yep.
You would have had to decide, this isn't going to happen. We have a superstar that is aging, and we don't trust him to ever be healthy for a full playoff run. So we'll get out in front of it and trade Embiid now. And that would have kickstarted a sort of half rebuild. And I just don't think that's certainly not a Daryl thing to do. No. Daryl will, and many GMs, I think, will give every possible chance to the idea that a game-breaking superstar can do it. Because it's harder.
Better than the alternative. Because he needs another game-breaking superstar to get there.
Yeah. Because it's just so hard to get one of those.
Yeah.
And he came here because of Joel. Daryl did.
Yep.
And he was giving every shot to do it. And then the idea of him going, okay, we'll give Joel more years so that he can stay here. And one of these years will line up. And also we'll get Paul George here. That seemed more, appealing than the sort of half rebuild that you would have had to do if you moved Embiid at that point. So right now it looks like you went all in with a bad hand. But you certainly see the logic, and sometimes it just doesn't work out, and guys get old and guys don't get healthy. So
yeah. So
but
I think
the benefit of this. Oh, sorry.
Ultimately, your friend Jay is mostly right,
especially about me.
Yes, and the timeline. I think it's funny. He's not changing his name to the timeline.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's no timeline. There's just the please, can some stars align? Can we get very lucky?
Yeah.
Playing Russian roulette with Joel's health at the same time as Paul's health.
And finally, email from William, writes rickysanchez@gmail.com.
But that's last thing. That's the benefit of how bad they were last year.
Yes, is that
getting VJ was such a gift. And when they were talking in January about, well, if we just get some things together, the season was so over for so long. And the idea that they kept at least publicly or privately saying no, we think it's going to work out and guys will get healthy, whatever. They just denied reality for a while, and they desperately needed to keep that pick. And through the rigging that you and I did, Spike,
we rigged it.
We did keep the pick, and we got VJ Edgecombe because of it. So last year ultimately was incredibly lucky because it sets them up to have multiple ways to dig themselves out of this mess. So that's why I was so frustrated in January, February when they were not committing to the full tank until they finally did.
Finally, email from William, writes rickysanchez@gmail.com. Growing up, I dabbled in hat wearing, but I always looked weird wearing them until I started wearing them backwards in college. Now I'm 39, and I still look great in a backwards hat.
Yeah.
Do I roll with it indefinitely? Will I one day be 75, rocking a Spectrum City Edition Sixers hat like a boss? Love the pod, TTP.
I also think I look better in a backwards hat.
Interesting. You're closing in on 39.
I am.
Yeah.
36. It's weird. I think aging in. I think nobody thinks that they're old anymore.
Yes. Well, because people don't look as old as they like.
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley. If somebody sent me Wilford Brimley in Cocoon was the same age as I am now.
Sure.
Google that. It's fucking nuts. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, but it used to be like you turn like 27 and you're wearing like blazers of a 75-year-old man.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how like style will change in that sense. I think when there's older people wearing too many young clothes, I'm a little bit like, all right.
There's a
relax.
lot of that in LA. I've
For
mentioned
sure.
that before. Yeah.
For sure.
Because I'm one of those people. And I go out to LA and I see all these people with their fucking tattoos and their vintage t-shirts.
Well,
and their
tattoos.
ripped
I don't think
jeans.
tattoos is a problem. I don't
Well,
think
no,
I
it's
think
just
you
a
can make that-
combo of all of it.
Right.
It's like the tattoos, the vintage t-shirt, the ripped jeans, the
Sure.
fucking the hat. And I'm like, ew. Then
There's
I think to myself,
there's a little bit of like, can you dress your age a little
Yes.
bit?
Yeah.
But everyone still thinks they look at themselves in the mirror and you're like, I'm still in my prime.
Of cooking.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is where I've, and maybe I'm a little lucky because I have ended up in a career where I can look however I want, basically, most of the time. And I just do whatever I feel happy doing. And I think if you feel happy wearing your backwards hat, you should just wear it backwards. I don't think you're hurting anybody. I don't think you're offending anybody. The skinny jeans are not cool anymore. And I started buying these like ones. And you know what? I don't like them as much. So I started wearing the other jeans again because it doesn't matter this is not to look. I don't dress the way I dress to look cool. I dress the way I dress because I enjoy it. And I think if you like a backwards hat, you should just wear your backwards hat till you're 75 if you want.
There you go.
Don't think it matters.
Sixers Clippers on Monday.
Yeah.
The Pablo Torre game.
Yep.
I would like that win.
Harden just dropped 51 in a win last night.
Oh, did
I would
he?
like
I
that
didn't see
win too. Yep.
I would like to win that game and then a Raptors Bucks back to back on Wednesday. So I need to go 2-1 there. I need to go 2-1.
Oh, I would love to go 2-1.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll lose the one against the Raptors when we do the podcast after it, probably, right?
That's very likely. Yeah.
Is that the plan? Okay.
For
All right. Have a great weekend.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah. Lick face.